Clotilde is known for convincing her husband to convert from paganism to Roman Catholicism, and most Franks followed his example or were forced to. And that's why she's a saint. Clotilde was born around the year 474 in Lyon to Chilperic II of Burgundy. Chilperic's father's kingdom had been divided among him and his brothers, with Chilperic ruling at Lyon. However, dividing a kingdom among brothers is never a good idea. Chilperic's brother Gundobad removed their other brother from his throne, then set his sights on Chilperic. He had Chilperic assassinated and his wife drowned. Clotilde and her sister Crona were exiled. Crona became a nun. Clotilde fled to her uncle, who had also been dethroned by Gundobad. Soon after, Clovis I, king of the Salian Franks, proposed marriage to Clotilde, and Gundobad, who had dethroned Clotilde's family, was in no position to refuse. Clovis and Clotilde had 5 children. Ignomer died young. Clodomir became king of the Franks at Orléans, Childebert I at Paris, and Clothar I at Soissons, and a daughter named Clotilde who became queen of the Visigoths. Clotilde had been brought up as a Roman Christian, quite unusually as most people of the time were Arian Christians, while her husband was a devout pagan. He was determined to stay a pagan, so Clotilde did everything she could to convince him to convert. She had their first child baptized, but their child died soon after, showing Clovis that it was a bad idea to convert. She then had their second child baptized, and he didn't die young. She kept telling her husband to convert and of all the good things that could come out of converting to Catholicism. Clotilde would triumph in 496. On the eve of a battle against a Germanic tribe, Clovis allegedly prayed to God, and he even agreed to accept baptism so long as he won. He was victorious and converted. Together, he and Clotilde built the Church of the Holy Apostles in Paris, later known as the Abbey of Saint Genevieve, and so began the forced conversions of the Frankish people. As the Franks grew in power and eventually became the power in Western Europe, Catholicism became the dominant religion in the area, eclipsing Arian Christianity. Clovis became the first king to unify all the Frankish tribes, then died in the year 511. Widowed Queen Clotilde retired to the Abbey of Saint Martin at Tours. Clovis's kingdom was split between Clotilde's 3 sons and a son from Clovis's previous marriage. Clotilde was still very active in politics and had not completely withdrawn from public life. Her sons went to war against Burgundy, which you may recall was ruled by Gundobad when we last left it. It was now ruled by his son, Sigismund, who was assassinated and his body was thrown down a well, as retribution for the murders of Clotilde's parents. Perhaps it was Clotilde who brought about her revenge, as she may have been the one who convinced her sons to go to war. However, Gundobad's grandson would later kill Clotilde's eldest son in battle. Soon after, Clotilde's only daughter died. Clotilde spent her time trying to secure the rights of her eldest son's children to succeed over her remaining sons, though her son Clothar had 2 of them killed, and the third chose to renounce royalty and become a monk. She tried to mediate the conflicts between her 2 remaining sons, but was unsuccessful. Defeated, Clotilde occupied herself with the building of monasteries and churches. Having tried her hand at politics and failing, she distanced herself from court. Clotilde died in 545, around the age of 70, of natural causes. She was buried beside Clovis. Saint Clotilde is venerated in the Roman Catholic Church, Eastern Orthodox Church, and Lutheranism. She is the patron of brides, notaries, widows, exiles, parents, adopted children, and the lame, though her cult also made her the patron of queens. Clotilde is the patron saint of Les Andelys, where she built a convent for noble girls in 511, though it was destroyed in 911 by the Normans. Her feast day is June 3rd. Unlike many other French saints, Clotilde's relics survived the French Revolution and are housed in Paris today.